What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Plus Club on Tasty Gaming, the show where we play games offered to us by PlayStation Plus, play them throughout the month, and at the end of the month, we sit here and talk about it. Hopefully, you guys also play the games that we played, and you can join the conversation yourself. My name's Seth.
I'm Josh.
I'm Chevy.
And on this episode, throughout this month, we've been playing Gone Home and NBA 2K16.
Yep.
So obviously, NBA 2K16 is a basketball game, and Gone Home is a very much like Dear Esther, first-person, narrative-driven storyline game. Let's talk about NBA 2K16 first. What did you guys think of it? How long did you play it? What was the fucking install and download like for you guys?
I don't know. I had mine in sleep mode.
Oh, lucky.
So.
Yeah, mine was in sleep mode too. I heard it was a 44 gig.
It's a 44 gig download, and okay, so I did this in real time. I fucking download the game, and it's like, your game is installed. I hopped on, and it's like, you have 2 teams, and you can play quick match.
Oh, that's what Dynasty Warriors does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it lets you access the game early, but then I kept checking the download rate. It's like 22% of the game is installed. 23%. Like after an hour, I'm like, holy
Battlefield
shit.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate, a game that will let you get in there and play it as soon as possible. It's awesome. It reminds me of like Blizzard games and stuff like that. But Jesus Christ, that fucking sucked. But eventually, I got the game, downloaded, I played it. Have any of you played a basketball game in recent time? Because I found myself going, I haven't played a basketball game since like fucking Sega Genesis.
NBA Jam.
Yeah, NBA Jam for the 360 was the last time I
Oh, see,
played.
I'm talking Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
That was the last time I played a basketball game.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, so I feel like we're all on the same page on that. One thing, before I get into like what I thought of the game, one thing that was really interesting for me is like the time capsule aspect of it. Is I played the old games before like even like 3D games came out. Haven't been interested. I play this game, and I notice how far along these games have come.
Yeah.
44 gigs. I'm assuming that has to do with fucking talking about teams, all the fucking
Commentary,
audio,
yeah.
commentary, the animations, even though every once in a while it was kind of glitchy, were really fucking good. A lot of people doing independent movements constantly. The game played smooth. It played well. I, as a person who doesn't play these games, I jumped in and I kind of got the gist of it pretty quickly. Yeah. What would you guys think?
Yeah, it was, I saw like a couple of hiccups with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, it was just having everybody's like actual face pretty much scanned into the game. And
Well, because like nowadays they actually do scan the players, which is amazing.
Yeah, which is crazy because I mean, it's them.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no doubt about it. It's not just like a picture of somebody on like a polygon body.
Yeah.
So no, the production value is obviously there.
There's money in the game, for sure.
I do think that NBA 2K16 is the only basketball game around. A lot like Madden is the only NFL game.
And then Konami does one game.
PES.
Yeah, and that's not even a good one.
Yeah, FIFA's supposed to be
EA
better.
does FIFA, yeah.
God, fuck Konami. Anyway.
But yeah, so, but like the weird glitch I saw, one of the weird glitches I saw with the AI is like I was sitting there, I was guarding my man, and you know, and he was, and the AI guy was just sitting there just dribbling the ball, and my teammate was like in front of him trying to box him out, and then he was just sitting there just dribbling the ball, and I was like, what the fuck you doing? So I just ran up there, I went, and I just took the ball from him, just ran down the court, and I dunked, but then it bounced off the rim, and I was like, well, that sucked. Yeah, and then I shut that game off.
It's really weird, too, because you constantly see on Reddit sports games all of the time with their glitches and weird shit they do. And I assume that has to do with the engines being pumped out so quickly and the production being pumped out so quickly because it's every year or whatever. But it's amazing that you notice some weird shit on your playthrough. I know some weird shit. At one point, I had the basketball and I passed it to a dude, and it's fucking flying his direction. He puts his hand out like Kylo Ren. He fucking opens his hand like this, and the ball's going. Also goes, It flies into his fucking hand. He grips it and fucking puts it in both hands because he fucking had that big ass hand. And then he just took it with him. And I was like, well, then I got to play him. But yeah, I was just like, that looked unnatural. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's interesting that we both got to see that. So obviously something I would like to see them, put more work into.
A lot of that probably has to do with it's probably hard to beta test the amount of actions that can happen in a team-based, sports game.
Especially the amount of movements in the game.
There's a lot of variances, so I'm sure that's hard to beta test.
And how every player is like the actual player. It's not just like a standard 3D model.
With their heights and their proportions,
so,
like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
There has to be something maybe janky with the fucking animations.
Maybe janky.
Because, they're not going to put animations for every fucking player in the game.
Yeah.
Maybe only the major ones.
No,
but
they can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but...
they're all based off like a similar skeletal structure.
So they're all going to get, that fucking same old
so
that
does
animation.
the way you're saying that makes sense because fucking maybe his arm wasn't long enough to catch the ball, but it's in the right trajectory of the skeletal structure, so it had to suck it in.
Yeah, the fucking check...
Yeah.
Of the engine was like, yeah, he caught the pass, or he's supposed to. Mm-hmm. So then the ball's just like, and it just fucking figured it out.
But enough about engine talk and glitches. What'd you think of it? How much did you play of it?
I played 2 matches.
Okay.
So, right off the bat, as soon as the game started, my first complaint is, as someone who obviously does not play these games on a regular basis, it is not new user friendly. Like trying to figure out what game modes to play.
I was doing a lot of hitting buttons and seeing what the fuck it did.
Yeah. So I wish they'd kind of streamline a little bit to make it easier for new players of the
series. Or
series.
even do the very like modern nowadays like little thing at the bottom telling you what the buttons do as you're playing.
Yeah, it was just kind of a mess. The main menu and stuff like that. I took advantage of using the PlayStation Eye camera, and I had my face scanned for my custom character.
Oh shit! Okay,
and
I didn't do that.
It's pretty neat. It takes a long ass time.
Did it look like you?
It had my features. Obviously, it was a video game and it wrapped it around a thing.
Yeah.
So it did have some of my features. It also mistaked my eyebrow ring as a skin tone, so it had a gray line in my guy's eyebrow.
Weird. That's funny.
But I went to play just a quick match, and I just don't know what I'm doing because the game doesn't explain anything very well, or I couldn't figure out how to play my character other than starting a whole career, and I wasn't about to just...
Did you look for a tutorial mode or anything like that?
They're videos.
Oh,
yeah.
So...
it'd be better if it just like kind of threw you in and was like, this is how you do this.
My biggest complaint on playing the game... So first and foremost, not to be so negative about it, I think the game looks good. Mm-hmm. I'm sure people who are into basketball, it seems like the complete experience. I'm completely ignorant on the sport.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't, like, when you were saying, check the ball or whatever, I was just like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like,
yeah.
So I'm just like... I was getting fouls left and right because I was just like slapping the ball out of people's hands and shit.
Boom!
And as far as like the whole experience, I think it's neat, especially in the create a character mode, because like there's so many animations to choose from. You can literally customize your guy.
I do.
I probably spent a good like 2 hours just working on a guy,
really?
Just because there's so many like random animations you can pick and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at you, but I'm laughing at the fact that I did the exact same thing, and then I went ahead and went through the fucking to hit OK, and then it literally took me back to the beginning of that created character thing, so all my progress was just gone.
Oh no!
And I was like, you fucking bitch, and then I just went through and I was like, I'm gonna play a couple quick matches because I'm not gonna do this.
Well, and then that's what I did. I played a couple quick matches. The game plays nice and smooth. I don't have any complaints there. I didn't run any glitches. I think the controls are a mess though.
Let's break this down because I feel like we're all kind of on the same page on this. What are the pros and cons of the game?
Official NBA characters, big pro. For people who are into the sport, that's what
definitely.
I want to see.
Anyone who's actually
roster,
into it will love that.
Old rosters, I noticed they had like highlights of like old like famous teams from certain years that you could play as well. That's really cool.
Reliving the glory years.
Yeah.
Old like Muggsy Bogues.
Well, like they had the old
Is
school
that
Chicago
like an old school
Bulls.
1930s like gangster?
Muggsy Bogues was in fucking Space Jam.
He had the fucking Tommy gun, right? He's like
Yeah, shot basketballs from the half court into the fucking basket.
Well, just like they have the old Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan and
Jordan,
stuff like that,
the old
so.
Celtics was probably Larry Bird.
Yeah.
and-
Oh yeah.
So I mean that's really neat in that regard. I think one thing I've always said about sports games is the customization options are always really impressive.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you don't really see that in a whole lot of other games. It's mostly
Sports games always have pretty robust customization. I think it's because they want you to feel like you're part
Yeah,
of
well,
it.
yeah. Then that's like the whole part of the fantasy. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people do buy sports games because they're really into the sport. But
Of course they do. They sell
But
like
they literally
motherfuckers.
can't. They can't. They're not. No one's gonna be. No one's gonna pick them to be a Seahawk or something like that. So I mean, like, it is their way to fantasize about actually being.
Well,
on
I
the
mean,
team.
I remember even seeing that like early on in like, not to get too off topic, but Nintendo 64 wrestling games.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Um,
Cons.
the controls.
Yeah.
I think they're gimmicky. They're using the right stick to shoot. I think is stupid.
To be
Yeah.
to be fair with that though, to kind of do a counterpoint.
Yeah.
All sports games now have that. They call it the hit stick.
Yeah.
FIFA does it. Madden does it. I mean, it's weird that it was a 2K game that kind of adopted it,
Yeah.
considering that's 2K.
I know it was a
And,
universal thing.
Yeah, new Madden, all that jazz. You use that to dive, or you use that to fucking swim moves and shit like that.
Okay.
They just think it's a more intuitive way and probably quicker.
It's
Well, it also feels like you're more like with the skate games. It feels like you're more involved with the game itself. So I get it.
my
but
biggest problem in this game, because I can't compare to the other ones. I don't have any experience in them. Is you can also use the square button to quick shoot without aiming.
that's all I did. Miss.
The only thing the stick really
Miss.
does for you is it allows you to like fake out, like so you can get
Yeah.
the peek and not actually shoot.
Which is cool for
Which
multiplayer.
Which is neat in that regard, but at the same time, why can't you just hold the square button down?
That's fair, and that's how
Yeah.
it was in the other games.
It just makes more sense
Or
to
you
me.
tap it and you can pump fake or something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't under the stick. I think is over complicating playing the game. I also hate that it seemed like to dunk you had to hold a shit ton of
Yeah,
buttons.
there was like modifiers to the
Yeah.
stick, which was the shoulder buttons. And yeah, when I went into the controls, I was like, I'm gonna fucking dunk on these fools. And then but like, dude, it was a whole list of shit. It was like showy dunk and fucking crazy two-handed dunk, backflip,
You can set up
360
8 of them in custom
dunk.
creations. So.
Yeah,
But for
I mean,
fans of basketball, I mean, that's awesome.
No, I'm not complaining about that aspect.
Yeah.
I just think the controls are wonky.
Definitely, and
Not intuitive
That's
to
what I was
me.
gonna say. Is like pros production value is awesome. The amount of detail they put into the game to make it feel like you're watching an actual basketball game is awesome. But I also agree, it's not very intuitive. It's not very user friendly for people who are new to this series, and I feel like you have to be a basketball fan or a fan of the series to enjoy this game to its full.
Yeah.
I kind of
potential.
think you just have to be a basketball fan.
Yeah.
I mean that's to me that's the main, like you just because like I think I didn't enjoy it just because I can't stand fucking basketball.
Yeah.
Not saying it's a bad game. It's
You
just
hate it.
Not my
You
cup of tea.
hate it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it was fun enough, and I think playing with people might have been a little more fun. But as far as like, am I gonna pick this over everything else I have to play? No.
Yeah, or am I gonna slog through a whole season of like 100 games?
Yeah.
I ain't doing that either.
Pros and cons for you.
Like I said, the game. I'm on the same page. Fucking production was really good.
Yeah.
For being the only NBA game, they sure did. They didn't really skimp out on anything like that. The commentary was accurate. Everything I did, they were like, he fucking did a layup, and it wasn't like I didn't like dunk it, and there wasn't a whole lot of airs with the commentary. Control, I felt like, because you're right, I wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of fucking basketball.
Yeah.
So the controls were fucking completely alien to me.
Yeah.
I even like looked, and there's like a bunch of shit I never even knew that it fucking like set up a pick, and I'm like, yeah, I mean I know what a pick is, but I'm not gonna do
I
it.
have no idea what that is.
You know, it was kind of one of those things you could jump in and play like maybe a match or two, but then you might get frustrated because you don't know the deeper mechanics of the game.
Mm.
And though kudos to people who are really fucking fluent, with the mechanics.
I mean, they've
is-
obviously been playing for a while, I'd have to assume.
Yeah.
So.
Also, a couple of the bugs just bug the fuck out of me. Especially my fucking wasted couple hours making my guy, and then all of a sudden fucking, oh, bye. That fucking bothered me. It literally, like, right when you start, it's like, hey, we need your name, we need your fucking email address. And I was like,
What's your
whoa.
phone number, social security number?
Yeah,
Play
I was
online,
like,
but GTA Online does the same thing.
yeah, but most sports games do, because they're all trying to do that big online, battle log for Battlefield. Like,
Yeah.
you have a profile
Social
on
media,
their website.
yeah.
Which makes sense. I was just like, it just assaulted you, like, right when you fucking first walked in. I was like, Jesus Christ.
So to end this, typically I will ask you guys who would you suggest this game to, but I feel like we're gonna be on the same page. So
Only people who love basketball.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
same.
Yep.
I'm on the same page. It's a cool game, but I feel like you will really only appreciate it if you're into basketball or if you're into the series. Yeah. Any last things you want to throw in there on that game? All right.
No turbo. I was actually upset there was no turbo.
There's no fucking and buy a bucket.
People,
He's on fire.
People need to fucking have colorful shoes.
The second game we played this month was Gone Home, which, like I said before, is a first-person adventure narrative-driven game made by I forgot the company, but they're out of Portland, which is really interesting. Yeah, what do you think of it?
I liked it. I really love games like this. Games, Dear Esther, Firewatch.
I still need to be a Firewatch.
Games like that. They're short enough to where I'm not fucking bored.
That's not to get too into that, but that's something I really appreciate every once in a while. Is like these games come out and they're like an hour, 2-3 hours long, and like as long as they're done well, and I feel like satiated after I beat it, like that was a good experience.
Yeah.
I love that because there's so many games out there that like want to be like 100, 200 hours long, or like super invested, or keep playing over and over and over again. These games like Dear Esther and Gone Home are like these good like bite-sized morsels that tell a good narrative.
Just
Good
very
story.
one-offy.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never play Gone Home ever again.
That's where I'm at.
And I'll never play Dear Esther ever again.
Me neither.
Just because, you know what, I experienced it, and it was pretty fucking
It's
cool.
like Schindler's List.
Yeah, and there's not replay value enough, honestly, for
Yeah.
me to go back there and do it again. But I'm really glad that games like this do exist, because you're right, they're very nice little tasty morsels.
Yeah. They're refreshing. They're
yeah.
not the same as everything else.
Specifically Gone Home I really enjoyed, because it was at first I was like, someone's just gonna come out of the woodwork and scare the shit out of me.
The game has like this really creepy vibe to it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
ominous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not even doing that at all. Like,
Yeah.
it's just because there's a thunderstorm outside and fucking
It's a big empty house at
and
night.
the light and the lights flicker and shit like
I
that.
think it was originally, before they went with what they went with, I believe it was originally supposed to be a mod for Amnesia. That's why it has kind of a weird vibe to it.
Oh,
that makes
that
sense.
makes a lot of sense.
I was actually really impressed with all the lore that's in that game. It's always it was jam packed. Like you're just a nameless. You're not nameless, but you're just a girl who you have no backstory.
It leaves it kind of a mystery until the end.
Yeah, and then but like you really learn about this family as
Yeah.
You're the
as
sister.
well, yeah. I don't mean nameless. I just mean
Okay.
like you don't have any idea.
But
who the
what
hell
he's
she
saying,
is.
though, obviously the facts are the facts. But like what he's saying is the perspective as you start the game and end the game kind of leaves a lot open until you finally kind of get the what's happening. Yeah,
And-
exactly.
Until you start to get those puzzle pieces on.
Yeah.
You know, like their mom was a forest ranger who was I think an immigrant, and their father was a writer.
Well, not too far into spoiler stuff.
He did a lot of JFK writing and stuff
Conspiracy
like that, conspiracy
Yeah.
stuff. You can actually find stuff like saying like how they're pissed off that he's fucking like he's trying to go too far into reviews because he's writing reviews because his books aren't doing that well.
And that's the thing that's really great about this game, and games like it is, even like Firewatch, is obviously you're just kind of walking forward and hitting and clicking on things. But if you're the type of person, specifically, I think someone who likes to read books, I think these games are super beneficial because you get a deeper understanding of the game, the world, the family, the emotions, what people are thinking, because of the amount of just digestible things you can like pick up something and read it if you want. And I think for people who like to really dig into things, I feel like this game is catering to that.
And to get the most experience out of the game, everything the game has to offer, you should be looking through little stuff, looking through all the notes.
There's a lot of stuff.
I picked up everything I could because there was a few times I picked something up and there's a note underneath it, or something that I would have missed if I didn't pick it up. But I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed how it was kind of a retroactive narrative, and it kind of unfolds as you play the game.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really neat.
Yeah, it has this mystery to it as you're like revealing it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you just pick something up and then it'll play like a journal entry in Sam's journal, and then and then you think that it's tied to that item, and it's actually just pieces of the story kind of just starting to puzzle together.
Yeah. And
then throughout one long kind of narrative, which is nice. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I always enjoy games like this though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good. It wasn't a wasted couple hours because the game is literally, if you haul ass, the game's maybe an hour and a half long.
I feel the same. I didn't feel like I wasted time. It was worthwhile. I really liked the story. I liked how things unfolded. Chevy, general impressions.
I am usually a fan of these kind of games. I was actually completely uninvested in this game.
Really?
Though. Yeah. I don't know. Something about it. The whole time.
I'm the middle ground between you guys.
Yeah, the whole time I was playing it. It just almost felt like the story could be conveyed to me better. I guess. I don't really know how to put it into words as much as I just felt like I was spending so much time pausing to get more of the story, and too much times looking in nooks and crannies to find little hints and stuff. It was too much missed for me, to be honest.
Very almost too cryptic.
Well, just too much spacing between the story. I played it, To the Moon, for example. It was one of the first games like this I played, and I love that game. But you're constantly being fed information the whole time you're playing it, even though you're still looking for stuff and trying to piece your way through. This game, there's so much just dead space in between.
There is, absolutely, and pacing
and it
is
really
kind of
screwed with me.
Yeah, is definitely indicative on what you're doing and how you play the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad game. I just I'm glad I didn't technically buy it. So
I'm on the same page, and to be transparent, I heard about the ending and all stuff like that when the game came out on the internet, so I knew what I was getting into. And playing the game, if it wasn't for the storyline being so well narrated, I would have been bored in the gameplay. I like the design. I love that two people made this game. That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I really love how refreshing it is that it has to do with LGBT community. That's awesome. It's something that we don't really see a whole lot in games,
especially back in 1995.
Well, when it's based for sure, but also just that the people who made the game decided to make a storyline, a love story essentially, without trying to be too spoilery, I guess, between people that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah,
it's not a cliche. But yeah, the gameplay though, it's an adventure game, and those games kind of they don't do it for me, but the narrative was good, the story's good. I beat it. I felt good. I was like, this makes sense. This is cool. I'm glad it's kind of unfolded like this. But overall, like you said, I won't play this game again. Not because it's bad, but because it just doesn't offer enough as a video game. But it does offer the one-time experience to be able to talk about it like we're doing now. But overall, I liked it, and I like it more just because the two people that made it and how it's a passion. It's a work of passion, which is awesome, and it's completely competent as a game. I like it. Who would you suggest this game to?
Really, anybody who does love those deer, like anybody who you're like, hey, have you played Firewatch or Dear Esther?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I'm like, then play this. Or if they enjoyed it, then play this.
Yeah.
There are some people who don't give a fuck. They're just gonna try and get through everything.
You're not gonna tell a guy who plays Call of Duty 24/7.
Yeah.
Play
I'm
fucking.
yeah.
Gone home.
Yeah, I was gonna. That kind of was what I was thinking was. I think you can suggest this to most well-rounded gamers.
Yeah.
But anyone who's kind of like stuck in a type of game, like, they mostly play sports games, they mostly play shooters, they play MMOs.
Only RPGs.
It's probably not going to be their thing. But
Yeah.
someone who does dabble and is just interested in gaming
Definitely.
as a whole would probably enjoy this experience. That and like you said, people who are into just stories and books and stuff like that will like this. So.
Yeah. But overall, I liked it. I'm not in love with it. I think the hype of the game and me knowing the storyline already before I played it might have ruined that for me. I don't know.
Tarnished your experience with it.
But I get why people liked it, and I think it's a good game, and I would love to see what these guys make next. Final thoughts on the game.
I mean, for me, it's just pacing issues. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I probably would have enjoyed it more.
I really enjoyed it. I liked it more than Dear Esther.
Game was spooky and wasn't trying to be. Should have been scarier.
Yeah. Well, they could talk about. Oh, shit, I guess I can't really say that. They talk about like paranormal things,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, here
Definitely
it is.
trying to fool you.
Yeah, I was like, here it comes.
The game's like misleading, almost like it's trying to fucking creep.
Well,
you
actually,
out.
after I got done playing it, I went online to see what people had to say about it, and a lot of people were saying, like, I really thought, this about the game, and by the end, it just wasn't that at all. So,
Yeah. It definitely starts out, you're like, oh, this is kind of creepy. And then at the end, you beat it, and you're like, that's not at
Can
all
we
what.
fucking like say how much that house is straight up Clue?
Yeah.
Like that fucking house in Clue just has hidden
Oh,
fucking
Clue. I thought
doors
you
and
said
shit.
glue. I was
No,
like,
no.
no,
It has
definitely
like
is,
hidden
definitely is.
fucking
That's a big
passages
fucking
in it.
house,
It's
too.
crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. Did you play NBA 2K16? Did you play Gone Home a long time ago, I'm sure? Or did you play it now? Let us know what you thought, what you think of what we thought, and let's get the conversation going. But that's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club on Tasteful Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to share with your friends if you really want to fucking support us. We're at 51 subscribers.
Yep.
We appreciate everything
Love
that you guys do.
everyone,
We
you
love you
babies.
guys. It's awesome that we have 51 people who want to stay committed. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Tasteful Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. My name's Seth.
I'm Josh.
I'm Chevy.
And until the next episode, which will be next week, have a good weekend, guys. And until then, take it easy, guys.